Champions League football is officially back, but injuries might change things. In today's news, we review the top 5 goals from this past weekend, discuss the only candidate Manchester United should consider if they end up sacking Ruben Amorim, give you guys the code to my Champions League fantasy league, and go through all of this week's matchups, which some teams might get screwed on with all the injuries going on. Before the Valencia match, which Barcelona ended up winning 6-0, for example, it was announced that Lamine Yamal was not playing due to injury after the Spanish national team had him playing with painkillers during the international break. PSG, on the other hand, are absolutely cooked when it comes to injuries, bro. Dembélé is out, Kvaratskhelia is out, Désiré Doué is out, and Kang-in is out. They play Atalanta this week, who just won on the weekend 4-1 against Lecce. If you want to join my fantasy league, this is the code. As you can see, this is my team. I made this before the international break, but I might already need to do changes because Désiré Doué is injured, Alex Baena is injured, Balde is injured, but just look at this front three, bro. Oh my days. PES FC is gonna be cooking, y'all. Anyways, these are all the matchups from this week. Arsenal play Athletic Bilbao. Juve play Dortmund. That'll be a great match. I almost added Guirassy to my fantasy squad. He's definitely one to look at. Real Madrid play Marseille. Tottenham play Villarreal. I feel like that would be a pretty good match. Inter Milan go away to Ajax. Bayern Munich play Chelsea. Oh, that's a banger. Liverpool play Atletico Madrid. I assume Alexander Isak will start that match because he didn't play this weekend, and Arne Slot said that's because there's 3 matches this week. And then of course PSG play Atalanta. Hopefully, bro, we get as many bangers as we got this past weekend. But before we get into the top 5, we have to talk about United. André Onana really left them, and then in his first game for Trabzonspor, won man of the match. They did end up losing, but we're down 1 man after they got a red card playing against Fenerbahçe, who had 28 shots. I must say, Ederson lining up on the other side was pretty weird, especially with the Manchester derby this weekend as well. People are calling for Ruben Amorim to be sacked after that, but surprisingly, Manchester United had more possession, they had more corners, and only had 1 less shot. Still though, that's an L, and the pressure cooker is heating up all over again. Personally, I don't think Ruben Amorim should be sacked right now, but if they do sack him, the only person I would go after is Oliver Glasner. I mean, you don't just win the FA Cup and the Community Shield randomly with Crystal Palace. His contract is expiring this summer, so I'm sure he's already looking at what possible clubs he could go to next. If I was in charge at United, I would let this season play out. Don't fire anyone, have to pay people out to leave, and just sign Oliver Glasner this summer if it really doesn't work out with Ruben. Anyways, I definitely probably missed some as always, but here are the top 5 goals of the week, with most of them coming outside the Premier League. I did put Zubimendi's first time volley from outside the box at number 5. It is the only goal from England on this week's list. Number 4 comes from the match of the weekend. If you missed it, Juve ended up beating Inter 4-3. They took the lead early, then lost it, then regained it in the final minutes, but although there was a goal that was better than this one, Yıldız's strike has to make this list, bro. Kefren and Marcus Thuram didn't make it on this list, but man, do they deserve some recognition. Bro, 2 brothers going head to head, both scoring in such an important match is so lit. Someone really said Lillian POV when he takes the ball away and says it's dinner time. At number 3, we got a similar strike from Fermin Lopez. He scored 2 of Barcelona's 6, and his second one was a banger with his weak foot. You can't even really call it that when he's scoring from here. It'll be really interesting to watch him compete with Dani Olmo for minutes this season, especially with the World Cup next summer. Fermin is not making it easy for Hansi Flick. The second best goal of the weekend though has to go to Di Maria. This guy is a joke. He scored an Olympico down in Argentina. The number 1 spot though has to go to Vasilije Ajic. Bro pulled up from range and called game in the 91st minute. And if you didn't know, he's just 19 years old and new to this team. You gotta have some big balls to do that. Anyways, tomorrow I'm flying back to my apartment in Barcelona, so there won't be a video, but that's the news, and I'll catch y'all soon.